Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Zach Mertz here at the Cape Wildlife Center, which is the Cape Cod branch of the New England Wildlife Centers. It's been a couple of weeks since we saw you guys, so we figured we'd bring you our own patient update. We were lucky enough to go live with Jeff Corwin earlier, so if you missed that video, be sure to check out his page, tune in. And we're actually going to be looking at one of the patients he saw and another patient we want to update you on. So we are standing, by the way, in our large flight cage. And today what we're doing is we are taking a juvenile great horned owl and we are going to release him into this large flight cage. This guy came in as a fledgling. He was out of the nest. We weren't able to reunite him with the parents, so we've taken him into our hospital. We've been caring for him daily. He's been getting mice, he's been getting fed, he's been outside in a smaller cage, but guess what? It is time for him to spread his wings and start the process of learning to fly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip you around to Dr. Patel, who you all already know, and she has this owl in a bin. We're gonna release it into this cage. I will be honest with you, we don't know exactly what this owl is gonna do. So we're gonna stand by, make sure that he's safe in his first few minutes in this cage. Then we're gonna back off, leave him alone, let him de-stress a little bit, get comfortable to his new environment, and then we will come back and check on him in a little bit. Okay, so without further ado, I am gonna flip you around, put my mask back on. And there is Priya.
Hi everyone. All right, we have him right here in the bin, and so we're going to take the top off and see what he does. Put your face in me. Go this way.
There you have it. You can see him, he's looking around. Now keep in mind, birds of prey, at this age, he's just after the branching age, it's not uncommon for them to be on the ground. But sometimes when they're in a large space for the first time, they do feel a little bit vulnerable. Meaning that if you're in the bird world and you're on the ground, you might be seen as a prey item. So he's a little bit stressed out, and you can see him doing the territorial clacking. But as we leave and clear out, and you can see he's got this big ladder right behind him up to a perch. So he'll be able to get some lift, whether or not he can fly from the ground yet. He'll still be able to get up there. And then once he's up at that perch, he will be able to take flight across this 40-foot flight cage and probably land on the other perch. And that's how he will begin the process of learning to fly and fledge. So we will give him his space now. In the meantime, you can see he's looking quite healthy. And we are gonna just gently push him to the side. And this video is not over yet. We actually have another surprise for you. We're gonna bring another set of patients outside as well. We're gonna bring the family of opossums and her babies out to a large outdoor enclosure so they too can get ready for a life in the wild. And as you might have noticed, this is the stepwise process we go through with most of our patients. When they come in young or they come in injured, we keep them close by. They get their medications, they get their rehab, and as they get developmentally ready, we move them to either small cages outside and then a large cage, or right to a large cage. So in this case, the owl, he went to a medium-sized cage to a large cage, and the opossums are going to go straight outside into a beautifully decorated cage that our interns and Dr. Patel set up for them. We're very proud of it. So with that, I'm going to flip you guys around one more time and we're going to take a walk. All right, so I will follow you guys out of here. And we're just going to... Oh, and look at that. Look at that. Wow, he wasted no time. This fledgling has enough lift. I mean, that's probably a good 15 feet up. That is a wonderful sign. Exactly what we were hoping for out of this guy. So this tells me that he will be ready for this enclosure. You can see he's up there sitting on top of a nest box. Great horned owls are not cavity nesters. They're more platform and squirrel nesters. So he's up there, he'll use those top platforms. And you can see all the way down the other end, there's another perch. So he will get his exercise here until he is ready to be released. Wow, that is awesome. We are so happy about that. All right, so now we really will let him be after that exciting news, and we're gonna take a walk and go check out some opossums. Here we go. So I'll give you the grand tour as we're walking here. This is our duckling cage, although they are all inside for the night. And over here, you'll see through, this is a 7,000 gallon saltwater seabird pool. And you'll notice there's not a seabird in there, but a waterfowl. Sometimes we use this cage for geese. And you'll notice this goose, it's a little hard to see through the mesh. We'll go around on the way in. But this goose, you can see he's slowly turning in circles. And now this is not normal goose behavior. And most people ask us, when this happens, is something wrong with the leg? That goose is swimming around in circles. Is one of the legs broken? Can he not paddle correctly? And in this case, the answer is no. We actually shot x-rays of this guy, and believe it or not, his legs are fine. But what we believe is going on is that he has either suffered some sort of head trauma or he is suffering from lead poisoning. And so you can see he's quite comfortable out here. He can haul himself out on the platforms. But you'll notice when he starts swimming, he'll go in circles. And you can see he's turning his head with it. So he's pretty aware. However, we do suspect that he either has some sort of head trauma, which we're treating right now with medication, or this afternoon we are going to test his lead levels. And now waterfowl around here come in pretty often with high levels of lead, and they get that from eating sinkers and shotgun pellets and lead that has been deposited in the environment by humans. And so over time they eat the grass and the foliage at the bottom of ponds that they use for their food source, and sometimes they accidentally will pull in little fragments of lead with that plant matter. And when that happens over time, the lead, you can't expel it from your body, so it builds up and it builds up and eventually can cause symptoms just like this. The good news for this guy, there is a pretty easy treatment for it. You can chelate it with calcium EDTA. And that meloxicam we're giving him for the potential head trauma would also go hand in hand with that treatment. So we feel pretty good about the course this guy is on, and we'll know later this afternoon what his actual lead levels are. So we'll leave him here swimming, and you can see he's got a nice diet right here. So we'll leave him to it, and we'll see you soon. And so with that, we're gonna walk on up the hill to the opossum enclosure. So I'm gonna lock this door behind me. Okay, so the story with these opossums, they were actually rescued by Falmouth Animal Control. And Jenna Correa, who was the officer who found them, picked them up from Westport, believe it or not. And the mom had a broken arm. Now the arm was so badly broken, it actually needed to be surgically pinned. So Dr. Patel, along with our vet team, anesthetized the possum, put in what's called an intermedullary pin, or an IM pin, and stabilized that arm for, how long would you say, Priya?
8 weeks.
8 weeks. So this guy has been here, this girl I should say, has been here for 8 weeks, and the whole time she has been with her babies. They started out in the pouch, and over time they grew and they grew. She has been taking care of them the whole time. And today they are finally of the age where they are all ready to go outside as a family. And yeah, enjoy this beautiful new cage. So you can see it's been freshly decorated. We always try to make our cages as natural as possible to make these animals feel as home as we can. And so when they get back out to the wild, it's not unfamiliar to them. So by putting all these logs and branches and native trees and decorative trees, it just gets them a little bit more used to the environment they will be inhabiting. All right, so I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna let you guys, I should probably come in the cage so I can see it. If you close that door right behind me. Thank you. And maybe I will come over here so you guys can all get a good view. Okay, so that first bin here, there are 8 babies, believe it or not. You can see they are pretty good size, probably about 8 inches from nose to butt. We don't include the tail in our possum measurements. And believe it or not, this is just around the time they would begin to fall off mom's back. We'll put mom up here. There you go. And you can see this young one is already making his way out. That's 2. And one of the coolest things about this story is that she actually came in with 7 babies in the pouch, and we received another orphan, Joey, who is just about the same size as the one she had, and she actually fostered him. We did a monitored introduction to make sure it would go well, and she took him right in. She actually fed him milk, and then he has been since living with the others, and you can't even really tell them apart anymore. He looks just as he should, just about the same size as the other opossums.
You got a climber over there.
Oh, and you can see, there he goes. And as we know, opossums are marsupials. So these guys are in the pouch. So they're actually North America's only marsupials. They're just absolutely fascinating animals. They get a bad rap, but they provide a ton of ecosystem services. These guys eat ticks, they help with rodent control. They're omnivorous, so they can eat both fruits and vegetables. They will scavenge sometimes. They are just survivors all the way around. And you can see, we provided a fresh diet. And I have a feeling, knowing her, she won't take her very long to find that, and she will have no problem eating tonight. So as you can see, we have 2 climbers over here. One guy is already up there. Mom is hanging close by the food, and she's got 2 babies behind her. And now this is, again, exactly what we were hoping to see. Exactly. These guys wasted no time. Their dexterity is good. They are out here climbing, they're exploring, they're curious, just as they should be. So, you know, not too long out here, probably a week or a little more, these guys are going to be ready to go to the wild. And we're not going to keep them any longer than we need to. Our goal here is always to treat patients as wild animals, to get them ready the best we can, and then get them out of here in the most expedient fashion we can. All right, so with that, it's been a good end to a good day here. That was 3 patients we're working on, and we promise we will update you on all of our other patients as soon as we can. If you guys have any topics you guys would like us to cover, especially if you're at home learning as part of a school program, please let us know. We would love to provide programs. And if you guys are able to, we really need donations this time of year. It is our busy season, and plus with everything going on with the pandemic, it's been a struggle. So if you'd like to make a donation, please either visit newildlife.org or capewildlifecenter.com. Your donations go right to helping these patients, the ones you're seeing right in front of you, and they make a huge difference. So I hope you guys are all safe. I hope everybody's doing well. We will see you next time. Wash your hands, and we'll see you soon.